Hello and welcome. Today we are going to go ahead and take a look at the Nova Leviathan. So the Leviathan is the next series of ships, and these are kind of the extension of my freighter builds. So if you watch my old freighter builds, you will remember that the limitation on them is no ranks of starship design. For the Leviathan, use as many ranks as you want. Um, Doing this opens up two very important things. The first is that with the Class C engines, every single Class C engine does require at least one rank of Starship Design, and every single Class C grav drive requires at least one rank of Starship Design. Finally, if you want a cargo hold hab or module, a cargo module, yeah, eventually I find the words for it, that is has like top and bottom connections rather than just connecting on the side, you do need to have at least one rank of Starship Design. So put that all together, and the Leviathans become basically your late game cargo ships. Um, for these ships, I said that I wanted to be able to sleep a crew of at least four and have a cargo hold hab. And then, most importantly, it has to carry at least 10,000 cargo while still being able to jump 27 light years. So, enough looking at it. Let's go ahead and take the tour. And then after that, I will show you how the ship is built. All right. So we are entering directly into the control station hab. There is not an armory on this ship. We have the landing bay access right there, and then directly above is our docking bridge access. Fun note for the Nova Galactic Control Station, it includes a little galley right here. Through this door, we can enter into our cockpit. Nice small little thing. Moving back, we enter into the Nova Galactic 3x1 engineering bay. And if you like this ship and you want to do any sort of like special things, I would look at swapping this engineering bay out with the empty variant, and then looking at putting in, say, like your research lab and your industrial workbench and such. All right, over here we have a hallway, and this is entering us into the Nova Galactic 2x2 all-in-one. We have two beds over here, a window looking out, small relaxation area, some more relaxation areas over here, as well as a small TV, the primary cooking station for the ship, and a bathroom. And then, as long as you don't fall down the hole, on the other side, we enter into the Nova Galactic 2x2 living quarters. We have another door right or bathroom over here, small workout area, another two beds. Of note here, putting this window in here does add some symmetry up front, but having that window there also removes the couches and such that were located right here. So if you want to have the interior aesthetic better, I would look at removing that window. If you care more about the exterior aesthetic, then having the symmetrical windows on each side fits. Finally, the ladder that I've been barely walking around drops us down into the Nova Galactic 3x3 cargo hold hab. And interestingly enough, it does include a bathroom right in this back corner. It's the only 3x3 cargo hold that does. And again, this whole area doesn't serve much purpose because they don't do anything in game, but it makes sense that a cargo ship has a cargo hab. Alright, so that's it for the interior tour. Let's go ahead and see how this ship is built.
Need some work done? Sure. How about it?
Alright, so here you can see these stats before skills. We still have that 27 light year jump range. We are still maintaining 54 mobility and a little bit over 11,000 cargo. So let's go ahead and grab our colors. You can see I did gold variations and then some red accents. There we go. All right, now let's select everything and delete it. All right, so how is this ship built? Well, we are of course going to go ahead and start with our landing bay. Directly on top, we're going to go ahead and grab our 2x1 hab, and this is going to be our control station. Then, behind it, we are going to go ahead and grab the 3x1 engineering bay. Beneath that, the 3x3 cargo hold. Off each side, the Nova cross passage. Of note here, I would look at eliminating the cross passages if you were to use the Place Doors Yourself mod. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab a pair of 2x2s, one on each side. Looking at this from the front, the one on the left is going to be the all-in-one. The one on the right is going to go ahead and be that living quarters. Then, on top of this control station, I'm going to come on over here to the dockers and grab my docker. And then I'm going to grab my cockpit. And I could go ahead and use, say, like the Magellan C2X, but I just decided I liked the smaller form factor of the C1X. It just seemed to make sense for this specific ship. Alrighty. Next up, let's go ahead and grab our landing gear. Now, for this ship, we are going to be using 6 of the NG20 landing gears. And we're going to be placing them basically on each side of the cargo hold hab. Now, these do require Starship Design Rank 2. So I would say that you are going to need Starship Design Rank 2 at a bare minimum to build this ship. Starship Design Rank 4 can get you better reactor, better engines, etc. However, you could probably build this with just Starship Design Rank 2 with a few variations. Speaking of which, let's now go on over here and take a look at the cargo. Now, for this ship, I am making use of the 30T hauler cargo. This does require Starship Design Rank 2 and gives me 1,000 cargo each. And basically, I'm putting one on each side. Forward of the cross passages. Then behind that, I'm putting in a pair of the Galleon S204 cargo holds. And then I'm putting another pair of the Galleon S204s on top of this landing gear. Now, if you are looking at this and going, well, this requires Starship Design Rank 3, I can't use that yet, I would look at going ahead and swapping these two out with the 30T hauler cargo and just going ahead and putting it in like this. So the connection point is facing outwards and not inwards. And then you can do whatever variations that you want for these two. Replacing all of these would lose you about 2,000 cargo. but it gets you close enough if you can't get to Starship Design Rank 3. Then I have a pair of the 10T hauler cargoes, and these are just located right back here. And then on the sides here, I have the Caravel V102 cargo holds. And there's 3 of them on each side connected to the outside of these landing gears. And you can see that is all of the cargo that this ship is carrying. Um, yeah. All right. So now that we've got our cargo, let's go ahead and grab my shield. So I am a Class C ship. The best Class C shield generator is going to be the Assurance SG-1800, and I'm just going to toss that on top of my ship somewhere. This is going to be hidden underneath something. I don't really care where it goes, so I'm just slapping it on anywhere that I can fit it. All right, next, let's go ahead and grab my fuel tanks. Now for this ship, I am running 2 of the 900T HE3 tanks. These are located on each side of the engineering bay at the very back. These are going to be the most fuel that you can get from a single fuel tank, and reasonable mass, but it is Starship Design Rank 4. If you do not have Starship Design Rank 4, you can grab the 700Ts instead. They are only 400 grav jump fuel instead of 650 for 10 less mass, but it provides you with enough fuel to get around without needing Starship Design Rank 4. Next up, let's look at my reactor. Now for this ship, I'm just grabbing the best Class C reactor that I can get, which happens to be the SF40 shear float, because this is producing 40 power, and for what is available here at the Nova Galactic, that is the best that I can manage. And I just place that right there. I can place that on either side. It does not really make a difference. Now, if you are looking at a lower end, you could look at doing the SF30, which is going to give you 34 power for Starship Design Rank 2, 34 power from the Fuser DC402, or 30 power from the Pinch C9, so don't go with this one. So there's options if you have lower ranks of Starship Design. Next up, let's look at my grav drive. So here I am using the NG320 grav drive. This is not the best grav drive that you can use. There are better grav drives. See 45 grav jump thrust here, 50 grav jump thrust here, 50 grav jump thrust here. So there's plenty of options for otherwise. However, this is basically all that I needed for this particular ship to still manage the 27 light year jump range. It does require Starship Design Rank 3, so you are going to need to make some adjustments if you do not have Starship Design Rank 3. I would look at, you're already going to be needing to make adjustments to your cargo to lower that, so I would look at going with either the Apollo GV100 or the J50, either of which are going to give you 34 grav jump thrust, which is going to be just 4 less than the NG320. But as you can see, adjustments could be made if you like the ship design but don't have Starship Design up there yet. Alright, the last thing that this ship has to have that it doesn't yet is the engines. So, for this ship, I decided to go with 3 of the Poseidon DT-230s. These give us plenty of engine thrust and maneuvering thrust, and I can basically just put them in a nice little line right here. I will note this particular grav drive does not have side connections, so we are going to have the structural connection right back here to connect this last grav drive or last engine. All right. All that being said, the only error that I have is that this isn't connected yet, so it is time to go ahead and start playing with structural pieces. So let me come on over to the structural tab, and I'm going to start with this Nova cowling. I'm going to flip that, and then I'm going to place it right here, connecting like this, and then this is now connecting that engine to the ship. Copy it on over to the other side, and there you have it. Alrighty. Over here, we had a porthole on each side. Again, if you prefer the interior aesthetic with the couches over here, I would just look at going ahead and removing this porthole. Next up, you come ahead and grab some more of these cowlings. And I'm going to place one on each side of the cockpit, like so. This is connected right here to the control station and to the cargo hold. And then come on over here, and I'm going to grab this Nova cowling. I'm going to put a pair on here. And I'm just going through and lining up a bunch of this across the top of the ship. Clip that into place over the shield. Oh boy. And I just had to go and delete all of that because it was complaining about the Docker module not being on top of the ship. Yay. One of the fun things about the NG2 Docker is that sometimes if you have things at the same level as it decides that, nope, that is not okay. And you have to delete things until it's happy again, and then you can start putting things back into place. Alrighty, and then I've got the Nova cowlings on the outside of the ship. And that is all of the structural elements attached. So that means that all I have left now is attaching my weapons. So right down here, you go ahead and grab a pair of PBO 175s. Then over here, I'm going to go ahead and grab a pair of PBO 300s. That doesn't look quite right. Let's stick them back here. Then up here, grab another pair of the PBO 300s. And then I will go ahead and grab the Disruptor 3340 Auto Alpha Beams, of which I have 4 of them. And then finally, 2 more PBO 175s. So for all of this, weapons are really whatever you want. We are still maintaining 54 mobility with this ship, so we can go ahead and use a reasonable amount of direct fire weapons, or we can go ahead and use some mixture of turrets. Playing on extreme difficulty, I find having all the turrets forward facing means that they're more likely to go ahead and hit when I want it to do. So I find that to be more effective. But especially if you're playing on lower difficulties, you can go ahead and make whatever adjustments you feel like. Or, as I said, you could just go all direct fire and ignore turrets altogether. So from here, I need to assign my weapons. And then paint my ship. And there you have it. That is the Nova Leviathan. Kind of a fat little ship. As I said, if I was using the Place Stores Yourself mod, I would look at removing these cross passages and basically just pulling these in on the sides. That would remove the space for this cargo hold, but I can go ahead and make some adjustments to the build elsewhere to make room for that. But not today. So let's go ahead and take our big old hauler here on out. And we are going to go ahead and do that dangerous run. That takes us out to our outpost in Serpentis. AKA, you're going to go ahead and see some combat footage. Alrighty. So that's everything fully assigned. So let's lower the power to our engines. And now we're going to pop on out to Serpentis. And let's see how well this ship holds up in combat. There we go. The handling for this ship is nowhere near as good as the dedicated combat ships, but we make up for that by being able to carry much of what you would need for an outpost. Let's come on over here and check out this hostile activity. Looks like I've got two ships. All right. Go ahead and head up another planet or two and see how well the ship holds up. Alrighty. You can see I did take a good bit of structural and hull damage with that one. The ship does not handle like a dedicated combat ship does, to hopefully nobody's surprise. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and give us a quick minute to try and let our shields repair some more. And because patience is clearly my strong suit now that we are above 40%. Let's come on over and see if we can still hold up in combat. Well, against list colonists we certainly could, but that's not who we want to fight today. So, Alrighty. So against a Vigil 3 and a Prophecy 2, it was a little close, but we were able to pull it off. Alright, so on that subject, I'm going to go ahead and leave you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.